We just need to keep Trump talking until he accidentally admits to everything. So, first it was, I barely knew him, and now it's, we were best friends until he started stealing the barely legals out from under me. Would you support Donald Trump being impeached and removed from office? I mean, who wouldn't? Oh yeah, cultists. My bad. God, what is that rose garden? That's just a rose patio. Ugh. The drainage gates are American flags. The drainage grates. On the ground for drainage. If that ain't a metaphor, I don't know what is. Oh, of course they have. Breaking news, FBI redacted Trump's name in the Epstein files, Bloomberg reports. Wait, whoa, no, because the Epstein files don't exist, but they're not on them. Obama's involved, Obama's committing treason, and Ghislaine Maxwell's gonna cover for him, all at the same time. So did they really redact his name, or was it just all a Democrat conspiracy? Trump fires Labour statistics boss hours after weak jobs report. Firing your dentist after being told you have cavities. Does Trump really expect, all of his staff members just to follow the propaganda wing and publish false numbers that align with the regime's bidding? Yeah, no, that is exactly what he's trying to do, isn't it? Because Republicans don't care about facts, they care about propaganda? What do they really stand for? I think I know why this guy has been divorced 6 times. Musk. Major Dems and their donors are in the Epstein files too. Checkmate, liberals, we warned you! Did you miss the part where they said 2? Whoever's in the files should be instantly fucking arrested. But you're just gonna act like Republicans aren't in there as well? Or are you just gonna glaze over that fact? Because you're fine with people being pedophiles if they're MAGA, quote unquote. Liberals don't care. Go ahead and release them. Democrats voted to release them. Republicans are the ones who blocked it. The right claims they care so much about abused children. But at every turn, make it an us versus them thing. I haven't seen a single liberal pause at releasing the files because Bill Clinton might be in them. Aw, but what are you gonna do with your Bill Clinton Bible and shoes? Bill Clinton said, without hesitation, he was all for releasing them. Sounds to me like one of these guys knows he's got shit to hide and one doesn't. Notice the difference between the rose garden at the White House? What do you see? It doesn't really look like a rose garden anymore, I can't lie. It's more of a concrete pavement. That doesn't sound as good, does it? Oh, unless this is like a very, very good metaphor for Trump's presidency. Can someone explain to me how you bring down drug prices 1,000%? Because drug companies have about a 2,000% profit margin on their drugs in America, dumbass. I really don't get why some Americans believe that it's so impossible to lower their prices of medical care. Cause, I'm sorry, literally everywhere else in the world does it absolutely fine without charging people a 2,000% uptick. Well, Trump tried to murder his last VP, so... Is Harry Sisson really this stupid? So they weren't chanting "Hang Mike Pence" after Trump ridiculed him? That final part of his presidency, for the 2 weeks after Jan 6th, must have been really awkward between Trump and Pence. Anyone who wears a MAGA hat outside of a political rally is a weird asshole. Oh look, I'm wearing a hat to own the libs, look at me. Oh wait, no one actually gets triggered by it and people just think you're an absolute tosser? Oh, yeah. My 22-year-old son had a shoulder appointment. He looked online at the doctor's notes to see what the follow-up appointment was, and the doctor put behavioural issues. The note from the previous appointment said no behavioural issues. He said they talked about nothing but his arm, and he was wearing his MAGA hat. Most likely answer is that it had nothing to do with the MAGA hat, and they're just trying to play victim as always. That's something MAGA is really successful with, is being absolute arseholes to people on a day-to-day basis and acting the victim when they call them out on it. People who go around defiantly wearing that hat in non-rally settings are definitely in the habit of being given an inch and taking a mile. Kid was probably wildly rude to the office staff and doctor. Oh, 100%, but it's definitely because of the MAGA hat, right? Wow, great job, you spent $50 to look like an absolute twat wherever you go. Hey chat, if you guys enjoy watching this Schadenfreude, you should totally like, subscribe and share, cause it helps this gay guy reading stuff a lot. Anyways, back to the video. Boomers. There was no oddism when I was in school. Autistic kids when boomers were in school. I was one of those kids, in the era where boomers were parents. They were just fans of the, he's just lazy, beat it out of him, school of child development. I've always appreciated the positive reinforcement of boomer parenting, like, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Wait, why don't my kids talk to me, After years of spreading Pizzagate conspiracies and banning pride flags and drag shows because of grooming, that was always a distraction and a boogeyman that they made up to get votes from bigots, but yeah. Republicans are going pro-pedophile and laundering the reputations of child sex traffickers in order to protect their dear leader. Welcome to the 2025 GOP. Oh no. Yeah, the propaganda arm is already talking about Epstein and Maxwell in a somewhat good light. Yeah, I think we all know where this is going to be going. Trump on Caroline Levin. She's become a star. It's that face. It's that brain. It's those lips. The way they move. And no one thinks this motherfucker's a predator. Right. Release the Epstein files now. Yeah, if him saying shit like that isn't a red flag, I really don't know what is. Russia has the P-tapes with Trump, and so does Israel. This is Medvedev's response to Trump's repositioning of 2 nuclear strike submarines towards Russia. I think the only people who don't know Trump's a child sex pervert are his cult. Basically, anyone in on it or anyone too stupid. Trump should not think the video archive of his past immoralities is only in the hands of Mossad. Isn't this motherfucker like Russia's ex-president? Well, I mean, did we really expect anything besides this happening? So we have a demented president who is being blackmailed by 2 countries and Maxwell. Great job guys, really owned the libs with that one. Why no matter what Trump does, it's almost entirely beneficial to Russia to keep him on the throne. Trump is an unstable idiot, and even if Russia doesn't directly control him, they have compromised enough government officials to make it hard for Trump to do anything drastic. Putin does not want Democrats to come to power. It would mean the end of the Ukrainian war in Ukraine's favor. Exactly, they would never actually release the tapes, but they for sure have something on him and will continue these statements to sow chaos. Really tells his photo base that they voted for the right guy if the enemy of the US wants him in, basically just to destroy the country from within. Great job, MAGA. You guys are really ahead of the curve. India on US tariffs. Tariffs will backfire. Indians are mocking USA and Trump, and China is enjoying it. If you guys don't know, India and China aren't exactly on the best of terms. 2025 is just getting wilder. If there's one thing that can unite a lot of people, it's pointing and laughing at how stupid Trump's been handling things. He's also pissing on all Americans. Classic trickle-down. I don't exactly think this was the trickle-down economics that they were thinking of, but either way, still equally fucks people over. He's got some tapes, golden showers, that the Russians and Israelis have. He's a fan of golden showers, so this is a win-win in his book. Oh, wow, one of the worst takes ever? I mean, if it's coming from a MAGA, it wouldn't be the first or last of many. Propaganda Max's Greg Kelly on Ghislaine Maxwell. There's something else going on here. It's an injustice. People are horrified when I say this individual just might be innocent. Of course they're fucking doing this, aren't they? But think about it. Who told us about her? The most reviled institutions in America. The media and the Biden Justice Department. Oh, these fucking buffoons are really gonna try and pardon this person, aren't they? Give it like a week or two and MAGA is going to be up in arms demanding Ghislaine is going to get released, isn't she? Trump considers pardoning George Santos after blaming Democrats for his crimes. You guys seeing a pattern here? Trump on pardoning George Santos. He was 100% for Trump. You could blame the other side for not checking him out. I have the right to do it. Jesus, I cannot stand how his new thing to say is, I have the right to do it, about all these possible pardons, as if that's all it takes to make it right. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Not that I'd expect a rapist to be capable of comprehending something so simple, though. What, you think the cult voted in anyone besides a billionaire nepo baby who's literally a sex offender? Like, geez, I'm surprised that he hasn't pardoned himself, or at least tried to. Well, now when you hear Trump say, I have the right to do it, you immediately know he's about to do something that only a shitbird authoritarian dictator would do. I wonder when he's gonna act like he's got the right to have an indefinite presidency like Bukele. Or say he's got the right to launch nukes at whoever the fuck he wants, and then proceeds to do it. I wonder how far this idiocracy type shit is gonna go. Sounds like gerrymandering at its finest. Cheating is what Democrats love to do. Oh, so you're against gerrymandering. Let's see how long that lasts. 5 months. Alright. Texas House panel advances GOP gerrymander proposal. The GOP isn't doing a thing wrong. Moving the goalposts? Yeah, that's definitely not something I've heard from MAGA over and over and over and over and over and over again. See, I would have said like 50 more overs, but I don't want to bore you guys. Biden just sent nuclear submarines to South Korea as a deterrent to North Korea. This is unnecessary escalation that will only bring us closer to nuclear war. God help us. And what happens when they vote in the President of Peace, in his words? Oh no, didn't he say, I am peace? President Trump says the US is prepared for nuclear war. Really peaceful, guys. As terrifying as that sounds, being prepared for it is how you keep peace. No, I think not having nukes and not being willing to nuke people is how you don't have nuclear war? Fuck, these people would really be fine with nuclear war, just if dear leader says it was fine. Trump also sent nuclear submarines to South Korea in 2017 because he was beefing with Kim Jong-un on Twitter. I know, because I was on one of them. It's interesting to me that you say on a submarine rather than in one. You would say on a bus or on a plane instead of in one. A submarine is a boat, so it makes sense to be on in. So it begins. Children should never have access to adult content online. This is something everyone should agree on, yet many sites refuse to enforce strong age verification. Or you know, maybe parents could do their fucking jobs and put on internet blockers. I'm sorry, the duty of care should be in the parents, not everyone else in the government. It's time to pass the Screen Act and protect our most innocent. The fuck has been going on in like the past month? Why has the UK, Australia, and the US suddenly been so staunchly pro-internet censorship? For the party that shouts freedom at every turn, they don't seem to be very interested in actual freedoms. The only freedoms they're interested in is gun ownership. Anything else needs to be highly regulated. Your hobbies, your health, your sexuality, all under their control. Except when it affects them. You know, they can have watchdogs, but it's only watchdogs for you. You know, we get to have the utopia, but all the Dems and the Libs and the people that aren't me, all the others, they get watchdogs. But without the cool hackers and shit. Well, I mean, you never know. You don't know what the furries are up to. For a party that's so willing to dictate sexuality, they seem pretty lackadaisical about paedophilia. Beyond time to go scorched earth. Breaking news, Democratic Senator Cory Booker is imploring his party to fight back harder against President Trump, arguing that history will remember some of their complicity in bending the knee to, who agrees?